A few of us are starting off this Sunday morning with some shower activity. We're seeing some light scattered showers just south of I-20. These are going to continue to move north and northeast as we go through the rest of this morning, but everything should clear up rain-wise up by this afternoon because we're anticipating more rain in the forecast. At your forecast first, WJTV 12 News starts now.
A man is dead after a shooting on Deer Park Street, what authorities say caused the shooting. And Jackson police are investigating a robbery at the Dollar General on Fortification Street, what their surveillance photos reveal about the case. And JPD works to investigate a robbery on West Northside Drive, how their investigation was interrupted. Your time now is 6 o'clock. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. I'm Linnea Lewis. Now let's take a first look at traffic. Here is I-55 south of High Street, and we have one or two cars out there. Traffic is moving smoothly. No accidents to report at this time, but if we have any, we'll be sure to let you know. Jackson police are investigating an armed robbery at the Dollar General on Fortification Street. It happened last night around 8:45. Officers say 3 black males wearing hoods and partial face masks entered the store with a gun and demanded money. They stole cash from the store before running away. Police say no one was hurt. A 40-year-old man has died after a shooting on Deer Park Street. The victim has been identified as Damian King. Police say King was shot multiple times after an argument with another man. Officers have a suspect in mind but are not releasing his name until investigators verify his identity. The Jackson County Sheriff's Department is investigating after an inmate is found hanging in his cell Friday at the Jackson County Adult Detention Center in Pascagoula. 35-year-old Robert Danley Jr. was pronounced dead at the jail after a deputy found him. Officials say Danley had been arrested on misdemeanor charges and was on probation with the Mississippi Department of Corrections for a prior conviction. He was reportedly waiting to be transferred to a state prison. The Hinds County Sheriff's Department arrests 3 people for shooting at vehicles near Utica. Officials believe 19-year-old Tressie Porter and Madison Kurtfield used a pellet gun to shoot at passing cars on Tom Collins Road. An unnamed 15-year-old juvenile was arrested along with them. Deputies say no one was injured. Jackson police were investigating a robbery at the Church's Chicken on West Northside Drive when a car crashed into an unmarked JPD police cruiser. Take a look at this. Ooh, you heard those tires screeching, and you can see that the car slammed into the JP police cruiser. The robbery happened just after 8:30 last night, and officers confirmed no cash was taken, but they are looking for 3 suspects. No injuries were reported. And 2 people are taken to the hospital after another car crash. Witnesses say a Maxima and a white Silverado crashed into each other at the intersection of Ellis Avenue and Robinson Road last night. 2 passengers in the Silverado were reportedly hospitalized with non-life-threatening injuries, and the driver of the Maxima ran away. WJTV 12 will continue to follow all of these stories, and you can find out more information on WJTV.com. Well, storms have been sweeping through the metro and parts of the Pine Belt areas for the past few days. Floodwaters have yet to recede in the Brooklyn area. As you can see, water is still inches high on the flood gauges, which is dangerous, and roads are closed due to the flooding in Jones County. Highway 84 is reopened, but officials are warning everyone not to drive through water. Even if you think you can make it, remember, turn around, don't drown. The American Red Cross is reminding flood victims that shelters are open to them. The Forest County shelter is open at the Petal Civic Center. In Jones County, people can go to the Jones County Safe Room, and in Clark County, the Senior Citizen Community Center is open. We've entered the second week of the partial government shutdown, and more agencies have announced they are cutting back on services or closing their doors altogether until Congress and the president can agree on finding a way to fund the government. As Nicole Killian reports, the heart of the debate is a proposed wall on the southern border.
Homeland Security Secretary Kirstjen Nielsen toured overcrowded detention centers in El Paso and Arizona over the weekend, where the federal government is holding migrant families. No photographers were allowed to follow her. She's called for more thorough initial health screenings for migrants, as well as secondary screenings for every child following the deaths of 2 Guatemalan children this month. Texas Congresswoman Sheila Jackson Lee will head the Homeland Security Committee to investigate those deaths in January when Democrats take control of the House.
The policies of the present administration does not answer the humanitarian crisis. I know that America is better than this.
Saturday, President Trump tweeted, "Any deaths of children or others at the border are strictly the fault of the Democrats and their pathetic immigration policies that allow people to make the long trek thinking they can enter our country illegally." The president is pledging to keep the federal government partially closed until Congress agrees to have U.S. taxpayers help fund a border wall. Friday, the president threatened to close the entire southern border. The president is here at the White House, having canceled his annual New Year's Eve party at his private Florida club. He agreed to lower his demand for a full $5 billion to build a border wall, but Democrats say the new number, $2.5 billion, is still unacceptable. Meantime, the Environmental Protection Agency began furloughing workers Friday night, and the Smithsonian Institution, which runs 19 museums and the National Zoo, will close all locations after the new year. The shutdown is forcing hundreds of thousands of federal workers to stay home or work without pay. Nicole Killian, CBS News, the White House.
House Democrats have pledged to introduce legislation to reopen the government when they take control January 3rd. And due to the shutdown, more agencies have announced cutbacks or are closing altogether until Congress and the president can agree on a way to fund the government. Thanks to a nonprofit, the Vicksburg Military Park is staying open, but the organization says the shutdown is costing them around $2,000 per day. Well, New Year's Eve is tomorrow and everyone is getting ready to celebrate. However, officials are reminding people to be cautious with items such as fireworks. It's almost a new year, which means New Year's Eve night, folks will celebrate with food, drinks, and these loud things called fireworks. Cleotha Sanders with the Jackson Fire Department says even though fireworks are legal in parts of Mississippi, you should think twice before using them.
We do not recommend using fireworks at all. We recommend our community to go to, a fireworks show to be safe.
According to the National Fire Protection Organization, in 2014, over 10,000 people were treated at the hospital for firework-related injuries, with more than 36% being injuries to hands and fingers.
If you're going to be using fireworks, we ask that you keep a charged hose line or a bucket of water near the area where you will be using the fireworks at. We also recommend that adults be outside to supervise kids when using fireworks.
Sanders emphasized if folks do light up their own fireworks, follow the manufacturer directions and remember, have fun and be safe.
The Jackson Fire Department, we just wish everyone a safe and happy new year and, just be safe, enjoying time with friends and family as this year ends.
And if you're going to shoot fireworks, remember to review the firework laws for your area. For example, the city of Ridgeland has an ordinance that makes the sale, possession, or use of fireworks within the corporate limits of Ridgeland illegal. The Mississippi Museum of Natural Science in Jackson is hosting their New Year's Eve glow party tomorrow night. There will be a black light dance party, a live nocturnal animal show, a glow stick trail hike, cupcakes and punch, a balloon drop, and more. That sounds like some fun. It will start at 6 p.m. and will last until 8 later that evening. Glow in the dark and black light costumes are encouraged. Admission is $10. Children under 2 get in free. Also happening tomorrow night, the 20 Pearl of Canton Foundation is hosting a New Year's Eve Decades Party. This fundraising event will feature dancing, prizes, good food, and a champagne toast. It will be held at the Canton Multi-Purpose Center in Canton. The party begins at 8:30 p.m. and will start to wind down around 12:30 a.m. All ticket proceeds will benefit scholarships and chapter programs. And don't forget, today you can watch Sunday football right here on WJTV 12. The Jacksonville Jaguars will take on the Houston Texans at noon, and the Cleveland Browns will face off against the Baltimore Ravens. That game will begin at 3:25 this afternoon. And as a programming note, the games may affect our evening newscast. Now, Rebecca, what can we expect for today and this week for weather?
So this week for weather, it's going to be a bit of a roller coaster, but today I'm anticipating a little less rain than yesterday. I'll have a full look at your forecast on what you can expect coming up after break right here on WJTV 12.